Hi guys, I'm about to go ahead to see Insidious Chapter 4. I'm very excited. It's been a while since, I don't even know when was the last Insidious that came out. 2 years ago? 3 years ago? 2 years ago. I really liked Insidious 3. I didn't really particularly love Insidious 2. And from what we know from the Insidious trilogy, number 4 should kind of take off the end of number 3. Very confusing. Just because there was that cliffhanger at the end. If you haven't seen that, it kind of, I think, joins on from there. But also in timeline structure, this one also takes place before the first. It's so confusing. Insidious, I loved the first one completely, just because I went into the cinema not knowing much about it at all, and I went by myself, and I remember it being such an enjoyable experience, and I really like what people call the lipstick face demon. I think he's so cool and creepy. I love his little lair with his organs and everything. I just love that idea. I love the Tulip song. I think it all works really well. I'm not sure about all of these kind of like spin-offs in different directions, but I think that number 4 is actually meant to make the whole season tie in. So let's hope that number 4 is just, a major bang and then it's kind of left, unlike Saw. But I'm not expecting anything spectacular. I just really like the idea of it, and I like the whole astral projection situation. I love dreams, love all that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping this will be quite scary. I know a lot of people don't like these Insidious movies. So I did ask you guys on Twitter and on Instagram if you wanted this video before I made it, because I wasn't sure, and it was a staggering vote yes. So here it is. Let's go check out Insidious 4. Do you like horror movies, Gromit? No, you'd rather sleep here? Oh, okay. It's actually so funny to you guys because it would be like the perfect day outside. It's like 24 degrees Celsius, and it is sunshine, no clouds, and it occurred to me that maybe you guys like horror movies because you live in places that also have winter, where our winter isn't really a real winter. So it's actually really funny to think that for some of you guys this would be the perfect day, but for me this is like a perfect day to go to the cinema. Like, I don't enjoy the outside weather. I'm wanting to be in the aircon and in the dark. I prefer the rainy weather. Hey guys, I just got out from watching Insidious, The Last Key. I'm gonna start off by saying I was pretty, not disappointed. I didn't expect much at all, but it was quite a cheesy flick. This film follows between the third and the first film, and it goes more into the story behind the main character, played by Lin Shane, and I thought that part was interesting. I thought that aspect was interesting. It went into a few demonic kind of possessions and how that influenced people. It was very like Amityville in a way, which I really liked. But the film was kind of like padded out with really cheap dialogue and cheap characters. In this one, she even gets reunited with her brother, and her brother has 2 daughters, and they try to work it in with, the ghost hunters, one of them being Lee Whannell, into like this kind of soppy, like them trying to like impress these girls. And the dialogue, it was trying to be funny, but it was pretty lame. And they really drill it into you that these characters in this film are based on ones written by him. I love him. I love everything he does, even though if it's cheese. I'm just such a huge fan of Australians in horror. I did think that this film was like just very airy and directed in such a strange way. The guy who directed it also did The Taking of Deborah Logan, which is a film that I liked some scenes of, but I didn't think overall was a great story. So I can kind of feel the same feeling. Obviously he directed that, he directed this, and I just felt like it was just too spatially, it was missing something. It needed a little bit of tightening. The film does go for an hour and 45 minutes. I think it only really needed to go for an hour and 20 minutes or an hour and 30 minutes. I know that it doesn't sound like much, but those like 15 minutes are just pretty crucial to like keeping it all very condensed and not dragging it out. So the film, it actually did not touch on the end end of number 3, which I really thought it was going to pick up from, but the film does wind it all together, and it's kind of tied off 1, 2, 3, and 4, except for the end of 3. One aspect I did really like about the film is they left the reveal of the monster that you keep seeing throughout the film to the very end, which is quite rare for horror movies to do these days. Sometimes when films do a reveal at the end, like Ritual, it's kind of a letdown, but I thought this one was quite scary, and I liked how they kept all the very intense special effects to the end, and all the ghosts and stuff in this film, you know, are real people, so it's not like it's a super over-the-top CGI situation. They just left that to the end. So I thought that was actually quite clever. I did feel like the storyline was quite haunting. I just felt like there was a bit too many characters and a bit too much going on for it to really zero in. It had some great aspects that I find interesting in horror movies, so I did like that about it, but I just felt like the dialogue was just cheese fest, and I couldn't get over that much. The laughs they were looking for, it just didn't tie into the rest of the vibe of the film, and it just felt very rehearsed, and overall the film didn't add anything new or original to the franchise, or really to horror movies in general. I'm actually going to give this one a 5 out of 10. I didn't think it was great. If you are interested in seeing how the story all comes together, although it's cool in that respect, it's not really like overwhelmingly like something that you couldn't figure out yourself. For originality, I'm gonna give it like a 2, and for scare, I'm gonna give it a 4. There was some really good jump scares, I'm not gonna lie, but overall, not as creepy. Anyway, I hope that was interesting for you guys. You wanted it, so I gave it to you. This is Insidious 4. I would not recommend it. Let's wait for Insidious 5, because I'm sure that's coming. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you very soon. Stay spooky. Bye.